Can't sit like a Zen monk. I get it. I tried them all. Zazen, TM, science of mind, affirmations, mantras, stress management, you name it. The fact is, neuroscience tells us sitting doesn't work for 80% of Americans. That's 4 out of 5. So you're one of the 68 million Americans who loves running. You're already meditating. Forget sitting. Rediscover why running itself is the perfect meditation for you. There's a story here about how running became America's #1 positive addictions. You heard me. Positive addiction. Back in the 60s, psychiatrist William Glazer, author of bestsellers, Reality Therapy, and Positive Addictions, was way ahead of his time. He was studying how and why people get addicted to positive behaviors, stuff like yoga, singing, hiking, weightlifting, swimming, cycling, rock climbing, and running. Running. That triggered a brainstorm. He reached out to Runner's World magazine with his idea. The editor, a self-admitted running addict, loved it and featured Glazer's questionnaire in the magazine. The response was a mindblower, an avalanche. More than 700 runners filled it out. And get this, 75 admitted they were addicted to running. Folks, this story is best told by the runners themselves. Listen, John Romer had been running 5-6 times a week for more than 5 years. John says running is almost exactly what the Maharishi claims would happen if everyone practiced the transcendental meditation. William Batt agreed. He'd been running a couple of years, adding, "I'd rather spend my time running because it's a period free of mental stress and structured thought. It's a time to lose myself in nature." And he went on, "Several times I've begun my run with the intention of thinking out a problem. But that doesn't work for me. I immediately get caught up in the pure and the simple act of running." Jim Corey, a runner for 11 years, said, "I don't think at all. I don't think at all. My awareness is only of the present, and even that I can't call awareness. Brain chatter is gone." Ron Rumbalski, a 38-year-old businessman, added, "While running, my mind is resting in a vacuum." Resting. It's not functioning. His expression sounds like going into the void, that eternal, unknowable spirit at the core of the 2,500-year-old Taoist Bible. The Tao Te Ching, the void, the zone. That's the perfect state of mind for meditation. Some even call it the runner's high. And how about Martha Clapford, a 39-year-old teacher and farmer? She was running 5 times a week for 5 years. Listen, meditation is probably the single best word for running. It is different from a Quaker meeting meditation. Oddly, the most similar state of mind I know of comes from listening to music for pleasure, she says. Martha then added, "Sometimes problems get solved while running. It's not a figuring out problem, more of a sudden flash of insight that comes when you are least trying to find an answer. Least trying to find an answer." Bottom line, Glazer really was ahead of his time. In fact, his focus on the positive, addictive qualities of running and other activities opened the door for future sports psychologists, coaches, physical trainers, and an understanding that running truly is as powerful and effective a meditation as TM and sitting like a Zen monk in a Buddhist temple. World champion marathoner Ian Thompson summarized best why running is such a great meditation. Ian says, "There is a moment where something does take over, a sensation of movement. You sense a loss of identity. You literally become the running itself. You experience the pleasure of the movement, the feeling of euphoria, the pleasure of floating along, of real happiness. Yes, running is getting to know yourself to an extreme degree," he says, and he's echoing the classic Greek edict to know yourself, to know thyself, running in a space and time when you become the running, when running is the perfect meditation.